What is your opinion of NAD and IV therapy? Okay, so NAD is a class of drugs, or supplements, or whatever you want to call it, and there's all these other things that are floating around, like metformin and rhabdomyosin and these other things. And basically, people are, and you're absolutely right, constitutional republic based upon democratic consent. You have to give me that. But anyway, back to the NAD. So with the NAD, basically it's just a class of things, and that people seem to think that it helps with cellular energy and mitochondrial health, amongst other things. So there are 3 books, if you're really curious about anti-aging, which are really good because they put everything together and they're awesome and well respected. So Lifespan from Peter Attia. Actually, let me bring them up. I'll actually share them right now with you guys because I want to make sure I get the titles right. And getting old these days, every time you get sick, it actually inflames your brain. Let's see here. Lifespan with David Sinclair. That's exactly right. All right. So I'm going to bring all these books up. I'm going to show you guys. And these are the 3 books that you need now. Let's see here. Peter Outlive. Yeah, see, that's why we're doing it. And my good friend Peter Diamandis and Life Force. Yeah, Tony Robbins too. Why is Tony Robbins writing the anti-aging book? Although he wrote it with a doctor, so we'll give him credit. Okay, so you guys ready for this? Wah! Okay, 3 books. So you got Lifespan, Why We Age and Why We Don't Have to, and it's written by David Sinclair. Sinclair is like the guy at Harvard for anti-aging. He's got a lot of really cool ideas and things he's doing, and he created the information theory of aging, and he talks a lot about the state of the art in the science. Then you got Outlive by Peter Attia. He's a doctor, and this is kind of like the Bible of anti-aging. So he breaks down 4 different categories: your diet, your exercise, your emotional health, and your sleep. And he gives us a collection of recommendations of things that you can do that basically are science-based to radically improve your health span and lifespan. So lifespan is how long you physically live, and health span is how long you feel pretty good while you're living it. Nobody wants to live to 100 if when they get to 50, they get Alzheimer's and they spend the next 50 years in memory care. And finally, you got Life Force, which is strangely written by Tony Robbins combined with Peter Diamandis. And actually, it's a surprisingly good book. There's a lot of really, really good people. Peter Diamandis and Robert Harari kind of work with them. And there's a lot of great breakthroughs there. So if you're curious about anti-aging, those are the definitive 3 books to start with. And you'll get an enormous amount of information. They're what, $20 each, so $60, and you'll be kind of caught up with the state of the art of where the industry's at. So the reality is that no matter who you are, if you want to live a long time, it's not about taking a drug. There are 4 things you have to do. You have to do them well before you even have the conversation about anti-aging. I do not do them well yet. Very hard as a CEO to do them well because you need time. You have to eat right. You have to have appropriate level of physical activity and exercise. You have to sleep well every night, and you have to get your emotional health in order. Okay. If you don't do those 4 things, I guarantee you all the science shows you'll be in an early grave and your health span will be dramatically compromised, meaning that even if you live to 75, you're the guy getting cancer, diabetes, you're the guy getting heart disease, you're the guy getting some lifestyle problem. Guaranteed. Now, if you do all 4 of those things right, it is not a guarantee that you'll live healthy. Not a guarantee, because you still could get a rare, weird ass cancer or still could die of a coincidence. There's all kinds of things that could happen. However, your chance of those things happening gets cut down dramatically. Then and only then do you talk about the next level up, which is supplements, drugs, and medical interventions. So that's where you can talk about hyperbarics. That's where you can talk about NAD and rhabdomyosin and metformin. That's where you can talk about calorie restricted diets. That's where you can talk about injection of stem cells and exosomes and these types of things. Okay. But don't even think about those things. Don't even talk about those things. They don't matter. They don't exist because they will increase your life a few years, maybe a decade if you're lucky, Maybe you get 2 decades, but you're going to lose 2 decades by having the core of your lifestyle wrong. So if your diet's wrong, you're overweight, you don't work out, your sleep shit. If you look at just people that work night shift, they die like 15 to 16 years or earlier if they work night shift through their whole life than non-night shift workers because their sleep schedule is shit. Think about that. Just working night shift will kill you. So everything you gain currently from the state of the art in anti-aging means nothing if those 4 core are not right. Okay, so those 3 books will kind of take you through it, give you all the evidence, talk about the state of the art. And then there's plenty of things in the functional medicine world that will help you establish those 4 things correctly. And you got to rebuild your life around it. It's very hard. I get it. I don't do it myself as well as I need to. That's why I'm overweight. But we'll get there. It's a journey, not a destination. And once you're there, then you can talk about the next level up. And that's the stuff I'm very fascinated in, which is how do you combine different modalities together to actually start getting additional years in both life and health span. And the good news is there's a whole wave of drugs and research and other things that are coming that if you have good foundations, you really can expand the human lifespan by a decade or 2.